The 1962 Western film, How the West Was Won, showcased a star-studded ensemble cast, including John Wayne, Henry Fonda, James Stewart, and Debbie Reynolds. The movie's unique structure featured 5 different stories following the Prescott family, allowing each actor to have their moment to shine. How the West Was Won was a major success, grossing $50 million on a $15 million budget, and was nominated for 8 Academy Awards, winning 3. A 1962 Western put together an impressive cast that elevated the film and made it an instant classic that would also become a box office champion and a critically acclaimed hit. Casting has always been one major factor in a movie's success, not just in terms of what the actors can deliver, but also the star power that comes with them. It was no different for Westerns, a genre that shaped some of the greatest actors of all time. Likewise, the works of actors like John Wayne, James Stewart, and Henry Fonda contributed to the long-standing impact of the Western genre. It's common for Westerns to be associated with lone wolf heroes, characters who ride alone and do not need a lot of friends to save the day. For example, John Wayne Western became a genre of its own, just like Clint Eastwood was front and center in dozens of films. This is why it can be surprising to revisit a Western whose cast included multiple major stars, most of which were used to lead their own films as the sole protagonist. In 1962, How the West Was Won premiered to great acclaim, and a major part of the film's success was its ensemble cast. The main cast included names that are still relevant today, including Western movie star John Wayne, Henry Fonda, James Stewart, Debbie Reynolds, and Gregory Peck. However, the film did not stop there. Even the supporting actors were shining stars in Hollywood, like Agnes Moorehead, Harry Morgan, Walter Brennan, and Thelma Ritter. By crafting a cast of notable names and talented newcomers, How the West Was Won was a movie audiences would not want to miss. With so many hugely skilled actors, How the West Was Won could have run the risk of some actors being overshadowed by others. A movie can have many characters, but there can only be so many protagonists. As it turns out, this 1962 movie had the ideal setup for their cast. How the West Was Won was broken up into 5 different stories following the same family throughout different periods and events. In this way, each segment had its own main character, and essentially its own tiny cast. Therefore, each star has its big moment to shine. How the West Was Won tells the story of the Prescott family over several decades. The movie begins in 1839 and ends 5 decades later, in 1889. During this time, the Prescott ancestors come into contact with various dangers and obstacles that are common to the Western genre, including the Civil War, outlaws, and nature. Overall, there are 5 stories within How the West Was Won.